the Roy Higgins of rock. Here's Molly.
Okay, thanks, Gavin. Well, I'll tell you what, talking about the Roy Higgins of rock, there's two really fine Australian albums. One was already released while I was away, and the other's just been released. The first is Rose Tattoo, and it's called Southern Stars. Now, this is some great rock and roll, and it's great to see that rock and roll has finally come back onto the charts, and especially with the Angry Anderson sort of way. It was produced by Vanda and Young, and as I say, I was surprised the single, in fact, didn't do better on the singles charts, but this album is really worth listening. As I say, great rock and roll, not only to listen to, but to dance to. Rock and roll certainly lives with Angry Anderson. And Gavin?
Yes?
Would you believe that Angry's actually starring with Tina in that film? Mad Max?
Fantastic.
Can you imagine that, eh?
What is he, a roll-on deodorant?
No, he's not.
Oh, sorry.
No, he's not. Now, serious, this album is also great rock and roll, and it's Red Sails in the Sunset, and of course it's Midnight Oil. This, when I first put it on and listened to it a couple of times, I thought it's not as good as 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But after about 4 listens, this album has really grabbed me. It's a very, very fine album, recorded in Tokyo and produced by Nick Launay. And I tell you what, being a record producer of one time, I wish I had produced an album like that. Congratulations to Midnight Oil. In my books, it's #1, and they've got my vote in more ways than one. Let's have a look at the US Top 5 for this week. All right, at number 5, Wham! Wake Me Up Before You Go. Sorry, George. At number 4, Chicago, Hard Habit to Break. It was written by another Australian, Steve Kipner. Good boy, Steve. At number 3, the title track off the album and the film, Prince with Purple Rain. Beautiful song, a bit of a steal from the Beatles though, a bit. At number 2, Stevie Wonder with I Just Called to Say I Love You. The number 1, great song, great dance track, Billy Ocean with Caribbean Queen, and the 12-inch is just something else. All right, that was the US Top 5 for this week. Well, last week you saw the 10th anniversary of Countdown, and would you believe there's an album, we've got one out, the 10 Years Countdown Australian Collection, and there's some great Australian songwriting and music on this particular album. We're very proud of it. There's also a home video of it as well, and that's in your ABC shops. Goodbye, that one. All right, let's have a look at the UK Top 5 for this week. We're racing. Okay, number 5. Boy, that's come from nowhere. Duran Duran, The Wild Boys, heading for number 1. Film clip, Russell Mulcahy. At number 4, Phil Oakey and Giorgio Moroder with Together in Electric Dreams from the album and the film Electric Dreams. Great song. Love it. Paul McCartney from his film No More Lonely Nights. The film, of course, is Give My Regards to Broad Street. Good one, Paul. At number 2, I love this track, Chaka Khan, I Feel For You. Saw her in New York. Great lady. And at number 1, goodness, they can't do anything wrong, Wham! With Freedom. Great photo of George and good one of Andy. Actually, I've had a lot of complaints about my remarks about Andy. About George, I should say. I said nothing about Andy. And, well, there you go. I'm sorry. Still had that cold sore, though. All right, listen, on December the 7th, we'll be taking away, Countdown will be taking away 2 lucky winners. There's all the details in this issue of the Countdown magazine. Away to New Zealand to see the final performance of Split Enz. Now, as I say, all the details are in this particular magazine, and it'll be a great moment. Split Enz's final concert. In fact, I'll shed a tear or two. So there you go, in the Countdown magazine, and I'll be coming with you. All right, yes. I have a bit of a beef about this, because I hear that my friend Jimmy Barnes is a bit wild with me and a bit upset with me. Now, I believe that it goes right back to the Rock Awards when, you know, they broke up the set and that. I thought it was a sensational performance, and I had a go at them the following week. Now, I can't believe that. I really can't believe that Jimmy's not talking to me. So, Jimmy, promise me you'll call me, and that happens to be... No, it's promise me you'll call, Jimmy. Yeah, that happens to be the single as well. Jimmy Barnes! Go, boy.
Get set, ladies and gentlemen, for the main event on today's card, the running of the Countdown National Top 10. Racing now, and from out of nowhere comes the Warrior, ridden by Scandal, up 20 lengths from last week, and the first of 2 new entries here today. There's been a fall so early in the race, from 8 to 9 by Divine, a horse who thinks he's a man. They may have to destroy him. Sadly, though, put down your glasses for John Waite, who's dropping back in the field after a good run. Meldrum sisters not going to take it and strides ahead with this heavy favourite. Just a nose in front, though, is She-Bop, ridden by Cyndi Lauper, who's already had 2 good wins this season. That's what happens when you sign Darren Gauci. U2 from Ireland in good form lately, but not quite strong enough here today. As Culture Club comes up on the outside, look at the war song go from 24 to 4. What a race! It's going to be a close one as Ray Parker bursts into 3rd position and refuses to budge. I think there'll be a protest.
There's something weird, and it don't look good.
Whip him, whip him. Young George Michael won't make it out in front because of a bad cold sore and a fear of a photo finish. And it's, yes, put down your glasses. It's Stevie Wonder. He's done it, making it 4 straight wins in the National Top 10 Stakes as we cross to the on-course officials for dividends of this final event. Lynn and Molly.
Thank you very much, Gavin.